Now, guys, I just wanted to update you real quick. One Punch Man Season 3, Episode 9 is not yet available. It's not out yet. I've been here, I've been checking my plugs. That's right, I've been checking my plugs to see if any one of my plugs has One Punch Man Season 3, Episode 9. It's not out yet. Okay? It's not out yet. And I'm not sure if you're watching Hulu and other anime platforms. If it is out, I doubt it because it's not yet out on every other anime platforms that should have it available. So in the meantime, I've decided to kind of do a little monologue, okay, before the anime comes out because I just don't want to sit here and wait up until the anime actually shows up. I want to take some time to kind of do some conversation, do some monologue, um, while we wait for the anime to come out. Once it's out, I promise you I will definitely react to it. But right now it's not out, and since it's not out, we can do a little monologue. So the poll, let me address the poll real quick. Where is it? Do you think Goro is actually a villain or just misunderstood? I believe, judging from the votes, the vote received 16 votes overall. 56% of the voters voted for misunderstood, while 44% of the voters voted for villain. So some of you guys think that Garo's is actually a villain. Some of you guys voted that Garo is misunderstood. I think in a way, um, you whichever one you voted, I think you do have a point, and let me explain that. Goro is a villain because when you go about causing problems, when you're not following the hero's rules and regulation, you're going about doing your own thing, causing mayhem and beating up heroes that are trying to do their job. That kind of makes you a villain, okay? And misunderstood is, if you voted for misunderstood, you're also right. You got a good point because example will be Deadpool. We all know that Deadpool is not a villain. He's an anti-hero, a type of individual that likes doing their own thing. They don't like um, subjugating themselves to either the villain or the hero. They just like doing their own thing. They don't want anyone to get in their way because if you do get in their way, whether you're a villain, right? Whether you're a villain or a hero, if you get in their way, they're gonna take you down. Almost like Wolverine as well from the X-Men. Wolverine is not really a hero and he's not really a villain. He's an anti-hero who likes to do his thing. He likes living alone. He likes going about. He likes some type of how do I put it? He's a loner. All right. He likes to do his thing. He will rather go in the woods, build some type of a cabin, stay there, enjoy his moment, and don't want to be bothered. He's typically a loner. So I believe that Goro himself is also a loner, just like every other anti-hero that we know of. Okay. So whichever, if you voted that he's a villain, you do have a point because when you break it down, when you're in between, that means a part of you likes doing bad stuff and a part of you also do good stuff out of necessity. Garo saving the kid, that's kind of a hero's work because that kid has befriended him. He's um very fond of the kid and he would not want to see the kid get harmed, right? So he put his life on the line to save that kid, and that's kind of a hero, right? So he's a hero to that child. On the other hand, the mayhem he's causing and willing to take on anyone that steps in his way. Because the thing is, when you're a hero, if you see an individual who hasn't subjugated to the hero's sector of things, which means abiding to the rules and regulation, being officially deemed as a hero. If you see somebody who is not, you're gonna question them. And the heroes know, rest assured, that Garou is not one of them. So when they see Garou, the Hero Association or any hero association will definitely bother him, right? They would want to take him down because he has caused a lot of mayhem. He has caused a lot of troubles for the Hero Association. So whichever part that you vote for, you're definitely right. Yeah, I agree with you at Zenetsu. I agree. In a way, I can understand. That's why I'm breaking it down. Whichever side you vote for, you do have a point. Um, could he? You have a good point if he's a villain. If he's misunderstood, you also have a point because Goro is not totally a villain. He does have a heart, right? He does have compassion, but then again, that depends on how you present yourself to him. You know what I mean? That depends on how you present yourself to him. Anybody who gets in his way will definitely, depending on how they present themselves, that depends on how his communication is going to go with anybody, whether you're from the Monster Association or Hero Association. So whichever one you voted for, you do have a point. But totally, I will vote strongly. Okay, I would vote strongly on Misunderstood simply because he likes to do his own thing. He doesn't like to be bothered. Even he didn't ask the Villain Association or Monsters Association to save him towards the ending of season 2 because remember he was facing like 5 people at the same time, and the Phoenix came and rescued him. And moving moving forward into season 3, you can see that they saved him. The Villain Association brought him into their sanctuary, help him recuperate. He didn't ask for any of it, right? But they helped him. But they helped him at a cost that he will bring them ahead of a Hero Association personnel. That's the only way they will agree that he is officially with them, right? The Villain Association or the Monster Association wanted him to repay them by joining them and to officially be a Monster Association individual, he must bring them ahead of a hero. And Garo is not down doing that. He's not down with all of that. He doesn't want to do it because he knows that you could say he doesn't want to do it simply because he has a good heart or because he has a conscience or because he doesn't see himself partnering up with the villain or the Monsters Association. And that's the reason why he's fighting Orochi. That's the current reason why he's duking it out with Orochi. That's the reason why Guro sent 2 monsters personnel to go and attack him. Of course, Guro does have an invested interest on Garo's evolvement because he can see that the more Garo engages into a fight, the more he takes on villains, the more they push him to his absolute limit, the more he evolves. And Guro is doing this because he wants another Orochi in order to strengthen their Monster Association unit in order to better themselves. So, and Giro, as much as he has some invested interest on Garo, he's willing to do it at any means necessary, which means if Garo decides to die, that's okay. It's a risk he's willing to take. If the Garo ends up dying through this, he doesn't care. If he survives it, even better. That's the reason why he did whatever or everything he's doing on Garo right now. So if you voted Misunderstood, I can totally agree with you. You do have a solid point. Because I think that Garo is sort of misunderstood. Because if you look at Deadpool from Marvel, you can't say that Deadpool is a villain, really. He's an anti-hero. If you look at Wolverine, which is another great example, he just likes doing his thing. He doesn't like to be bothered. If he sees someone getting hurt, he would likely help the person out. If he sees someone in pain, he will help them out. If he sees someone being bullied, he's most likely to help them out. But at the same time, he doesn't want to subjugate himself under any faction. Oh, no, not faction, fiction, right? He doesn't want to subjugate himself to any gang. He likes doing his own thing. And there are a lot of people like that. Actually, if you ask me, most heroes, right? Most heroes normally operate like that. They normally operate like that. Most badass heroes normally are loners. They like doing their own thing. They don't like to be bothered most of the time. And even if they are to involve themselves in a team, it's a very little team because they've been stabbed in the back many times. They know that they can't trust anyone who they meet. They've been hurt a lot in the past. So to avoid getting involved in something that not only will it be a bad situation, but the people involved are gonna get hurt. They like to be a loner. So if you voted for misunderstood, I totally agree with you because I agree that Garou is actually misunderstood. He's not really a villain. He's an anti-hero. And the other question that I want to bring up while we wait for this episode to come out, because like I said before, I'm doing this because the episode is not out yet. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I know you got other stuff to do, but while we wait for the episode, we can have a discussion on One Punch Man. I have put up another question here. The other question that I have is at Sonic, I agree. I hope he will play an important part. And Garou, of course, he will play an important part on One Punch Man. The reason why all of us are watching this show is not really because of Saitama. If you really think about it, I would say 90% of One Punch Man audience that are watching right now are watching for Garou to see how he's going to evolve. Not really for Saitama. And again, I will edify my point simply because of how this season has been going so far. Many fans are very disappointed on how the season has been going, which leads me to my next question that I have, which I'm going to post it on the chat right now. Um, the next question is, yep, at Shimika, Goro is anti-hero. Yep, I agree with you. At Everest, when will the episode release? I don't know yet. I'm doing this because I'm waiting for the episode to come out. I don't want to do a live stream and just leave it like that while you guys are coming and wondering what is going on. The episode is not out yet. So while we wait is the reason why I'm doing this pro monologue before the episode comes out. So I'll continue to talk until the episode comes out. Also to give you guys content too. The next question that I have is, animators went crazy this episode. Or actually I meant to say animators went crazy this season. What studio do you think should animate One Punch Man season 4? Let me know guys on the comment section in the chat. What anime or what studio do you guys wish should animate One Punch Man season 4? I can think of Mappa. Mappa are doing a very good job. Jujutsu Kaisen anime is pretty good. The storyline is pretty on point. Of course, Tokyo TV or TV Tokyo, they've been famous and they've been around for a very long time. I think TV Tokyo will probably do a good job with uh, One Punch Man, and especially if it's going to be done by Tet Kubo. Tet Kubo with Bleach animation, Bleach characters, it's solely on point. I think if Tet Kubo or TV Tokyo engages or does One Punch Man, I think they might do a very good job. Okay. I will even pick TV Tokyo over Mappa simply because Jujutsu Kaisen is a reference that got some of its storyline from some of its design or some of its um, character development, or let me say ideas from Bleach actually, or let me say TV Tokyo, because if you look at the way Mappa did Jujutsu Kaisen, the whole situation with Jujutsu Kaisen with curses and all of these things, I believe that Bleach has some type of involvement on Jujutsu Kaisen. And let's not forget the leader or the captain of Jujutsu Kaisen Curse School actually looks like Genyusa Yamamoto if you really look at it. So Bleach does have some involvement on Jujutsu Kaisen, which is Mappa. So either Mappa, TV Tokyo, or if Tet Kubo is gonna do it, I will really love it. And with that being said, I'm also looking forward to Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, the next arc, the fourth season next year. I cannot wait for that. So what do you guys think? Should Mappa do it? Should TV Tokyo take on One Punch Man season 4? Or should um Toei Animation take on One Punch Man season 4? At Casio said it is out in like a couple of minutes. Is it out in a couple of minutes? Maybe the studio that did S1 and S2 with bigger budget. Okay. Will Fan will animate season 4. I don't think that's gonna happen, man. If you tell fans to animate season 4, it has to be, if it's not uh, a combined project, it's not gonna work because there's a lot of fans who are animators that can actually do their own animation. If fans do it, it's gonna be very sporadic. It's gonna be everywhere. Everybody will have their own version of One Punch Man. Season 4, I don't think that's a good idea. You won't have a solid recognition if you ask fans to do it, unless if it is a combined project. And I think if that project doesn't have a good budget, enough budget to do it, I don't think it's going to come to fruition because to do an animation in this magnitude, such a well recognized anime, it's going to need a professional studio to do it. You know, I do understand that Master Media did quite a good job with his Saitama versus Goku fight animation. He did quite a good job, but at the same time, stuff like that needs professional and well grounded budget in order to make it come to fruition. So let me check the episode and see if it is out. The episode is not out, guys. So while we continue to wait, we'll continue to do some dialogue here on One Punch Man season 4. I'm not sure why this is the case because I would think by now that One Punch Man will be on time. This is another reason why fans get upset with One Punch Man. Like, it's not on time. And I think this is the second time or the first time this is happening. I think it's the second time. It's not on point. I don't know what's going on. The fans everywhere, all over the globe, are waiting. What the hell is going on? Where is the episode? Um, but it's not out yet. Once it comes out, I will do the reaction. But while we wait, let's continue to do some dialogue here. The episode is not out yet, guys. And while we wait, I will continue to do some question and answer. So I have another question. And if you're watching this right now, go through the chat and also answer or give your point on um, what studio do you think should animate One Punch Man season 4? Should the current studio do it but with a big budget, or the season 1 uh, Madhouse? Because Madhouse did season 1 and season 2. Should One Punch Man be returned to Madhouse to do the next season? Or should it continue on where it is? Or should Mappa do it? Or should TV Tokyo do it? Or Toei Animation do it? Which studio do you guys think will do a better job with One Punch Man season 4? Because the whole fans, including myself, we are kind of disappointed with the whole One Punch Man series this season. You know, they gave us one good episode, which was episode 5, and outside from that, it's been stale so far. So the next question I have for y'all is, one moment. I did ask this question, but nobody answered it. Let me put it out again. The question that I have right now, to break the ice and to give perspective to the situation, we know that during the fight Garou versus Orochi, Saitama heard the noise, the earthquake. He was reading his novel or his manga, and he felt that there is a big battle going on. So Saitama got out of his apartment, going towards the fight scene. He encountered a couple of monster underlines and he defeated them. Saitama then found some type of a tunnel, right? And he went under that tunnel. Now Saitama is currently looking for where all this rubble came out of. Where is the fight? For something to make such a huge earthquake in this magnitude, it must have come from somewhere. So Saitama is somewhere right now looking for, looking to see where the battle is happening. So I have a question for y'all. What's going through Saitama's head right now? Wrong answers only. The wrong answer I have right now is probably he's busy reading his manga. All right, that's the first wrong answer. Saitama is probably cornered somewhere, maybe eating chips or drinking tea or whatever, reading his manga. The next, okay, someone said Sonic Forever said probably I want to go home or like it smells like really bad. Cause like bro, okay, in the sewer. Okay. Yep. The next wrong answer that I have is I think Saitama is taking a shit somewhere because he left his apartment. He's seeking for where the battle is. He can't find it. He's currently in his sewer. And based on the fact that when you go in the sewer, inside the sewer, it doesn't smell good. So probably the smell, the aroma, with everything that is happening, rats and everything, probably he decided to take a shit. Maybe he's been taking a dump somewhere and he's still taking a dump while he's reading his manga. That's another perspective that I have for you guys. But you can add on to this question if you want, as much as you want. So please go ahead and give me your answers. Wrong answers only. What do you think is going on through Saitama's mind right now? Is he busy taking a shit? Is he busy reading his novel, his manga? Or is he picking his nose? Because, Saitama is kind of a dork. I think he's either doing something that he shouldn't be doing right now. So, um, let's go to another question. Hold on, let me come up with another question here. 1 second. Okay, now this is even though, okay, I think this is no, I'm gonna keep this question till the end. I don't want to give it out now. I don't want to give this one out right now. But I'm gonna give out this one. Yeah, I see a couple of you guys are really going in on that question. Yeah, man, just add on to it as much as you want. At the end of the episode, I might go through that question because I think that question brings kind of an interesting humor. What do you think is going on in Saitama's head right now while he looks for the battle, where he seeks out monsters? Isn't this interesting? The class S hero already located where the Monster Association hideouts. Like they haven't gotten into the main sanctuary, but they have found routes to get there. And Saitama himself, it is now the third episode since episode 5. He is still looking for where the Monster Association hideout really is. Isn't that interesting? Now I can understand why. I'm not gonna knock them. Okay, I'm not gonna knock JC staff for doing that. I can totally understand. They have to do that to Saitama simply because once Saitama enters the battlefield, it's over for everybody. So they're doing this to kind of keep Saitama at bay from the battle scene and get the rest of the other S rank heroes to get a shine on the battlefield. So that's why this is peculiar and interesting to kind of understand what could Saitama be doing right now. Because I bet you, Saitama is still looking for the battle. He's still looking for the Monsters Association hideout. So the next question that I have is best moments for this season so far. What are your best moments? Let me add to let me make it more interesting. I think the best moments right now for this season, if you ask me just right now, the best moments for this season, it's definitely the fifth episode. The fifth episode is the best moments, to be specific, Orochi versus Garo or Garo versus Orochi. That is the best moment for this season right now. Okay. And the second best moment that I have is, hold on, let me check if the episode is out. My goodness, the episode is still not out, guys. The episode is still not out. And if any one of you, um if you guys, because I don't think it's out on Hulu or Crunchyroll. It's not out yet. It's not out yet, man. If you have access to Crunchyroll, you can check real quick, guys, if it's out, but I doubt it. It's not out yet. If it's out, I will know by now. Because I'm checking out my plugs, all right? I got a couple of plugs for anime episodes, and none of them has it. Even One Piece episode 1152 is out. And normally, One Punch Man normally comes out, right? The episode normally comes out before One Piece. So this is peculiar. This is a peculiar situation. Why is it not out yet? Why is it not out yet? No, I haven't watched the episode yet. I normally do this monologue after the episode, but the episode is not out yet, guys, and I'm waiting, patiently waiting. I don't know when it will be out. It should be out by now, but it's not. I know it's not out on Crunchyroll because I do have a way to kind of not necessarily have not necessarily have access to Crunchyroll, but anything that comes out on Crunchyroll, I do have access to know if it is out on Crunchyroll or not. So it's not out yet. So I don't know what's going on. There is a big delay going on, and frankly speaking, I don't know how long it's gonna take. But we'll make the best of it. We'll continue to make the best of it. Yeah, let me check again. It's supposed to be out like 45 minutes, not even an hour ago, but it's not, guys. It's like this season is just going downhill from now on. Like, yeah, it's going downhill, man. This is unacceptable, if you ask me, for anime so big to be messing up like this, you know? All right. Now, this is not for spoilers, not necessarily. Um, this is for what ifs. If Garo fought All Might in his prime, who wins? If Garo fought All Might, and I'm talking about Garo as it stands. If Garo fought All Might right now in his prime, who do you think is gonna win? Is All Might going to beat Garo, or do you guys think that Garo will win against All Might? And while we wait for this episode, I hope that this episode is going to be a banger. Because if they release this damn episode and it sucks, oh my goodness. Have already rated One Punch Man Season 3 as one of the worst top anime in history, actually. One Punch Man Season 3 has a bad rating right now. So imagine if this episode comes out and it doesn't meet up to expectation. It's going to be worse, man. I don't know why. It's like things are going downhill from now on, and I hope that they have a good reason for such a bad experience with One Punch Man this season. I'm not sure what's going on. It's a bad experience, man. So, what do you guys think? If Garo fought All Might in All Might's prime, do y'all think Garo is gonna win, or do you think All Might is gonna win? The episode is not out. It's not out yet. If you have Crunchyroll, please confirm again if it is out on Crunchyroll, but I don't think so. It's not out. There is a big delay going on. Okay. So Garo, the manga Garo, or let me say the post Garo is gonna win against All Might. Okay. I can totally understand that. I can totally understand. And once again, for some of you guys that I hear that didn't um see when I explained the pool, do you think Garo is actually a villain or just misunderstood? I did explain already. I've already touched base on that. So if you didn't see it, you can go back to this live stream and you're gonna watch and get to know my prediction and my explanation on it, because I did say that whichever one you choose, I can understand, but I will lean more towards misunderstood because Goro is really not a villain. He's an anti hero. So Shimika said the episode is out. I don't think so because I've been here. I'm constantly checking, guys. I'm really constantly checking to see if the episode is out, but it's not out. It's not out yet, man. This is bad. This is really, really terrible. This is terrible, man. This is something you don't expect from a big anime such as this one. For small animes or first time or first season anime, I can expect this kind of stuff, but not um, a grounded, noted anime that has a big notoriety. Okay, the next question that I have is, we got Swag in the chat. What's going on, Swag? We're here waiting for One Punch Man Season 3, Episode 9 to come out. And since it's not yet out, that's the reason why we're here waiting. The next question that I have is Goro's martial arts better than Bang's? All right. Is Goro's martial arts better than Bang's? What do you guys think? Bang is a master. Let's not forget about that. He's a master. Watching him from season 2, and also his fight with Goro as well, because Bang and his brother fought Goro a little bit before um, Phoenix saved Goro, because Goro faced on Genius, Bang, and his brother, and yeah, three people, three versus one. So, do you guys think that Goro's martial arts, and I'm talking about Goro as it stands, Goro right now, is his martial arts better than Bang's martial arts? You can let me know. Let me look for another question. And another question that I have is, should any S-class hero besides Blast beat current Garou? I think Tornado, Hellish Tornado may have a chance, but then again, with her telekinesis, Garo was able to withstood Giro's telekinesis. So I believe if Tornado uses her telekinesis, I don't think it's going to work on Garo because Garo has shown to withstood Giro's telekinesis. And I think Giro, his telekinesis is probably more superior than Tornado's telekinesis, right? Somebody said King. Are you kidding me? Did I see Neon said King? That's a good question. Did I check the schedule? I did check the schedule. I did check the schedule. I did check the schedule, guys. Um, my schedule said that it should be out at 10:15. Not even 10:30. 10:15 it should be out. But let me go on the website and type it up. If they are on a delay, I checked it. Google said that One Punch Man Season 3, Episode 9 release date, time, schedule, and how to watch has been confirmed for December 7th. Okay, that's today. Okay, there's another thing. It says the episode arrives at 8:45 a.m. PT Standard Time and 11:45 a.m. ET for US viewers on Hulu and Disney Plus. So, with that being said, it looks like the episode is going to come out, I think, 15 minutes from now or 13 minutes from now. So, yeah, if this article is true, it's coming out 11:45 my time, Eastern Standard Time, so which means it's 13 minutes or 12 minutes from now. So I'll continue to be live and hope that this article is true. It's currently 11:33 a.m. on my side. I'm not sure about you, where you're watching from. And speaking of that, guys, where are you guys from? Where are you watching from? Let me know where you're watching from. If it is your first time watching with me, drop a hi so that I can welcome you. Foxy Games 5878. Thanks for coming to the live chat. From Brazil. Olega, Brazil. All right, we got Foxy Game from Brazil. What's up, man? How you doing? How is Brazil? See, Brazil is actually one of the countries that I would like to visit because I like their culture. Um, the samba and everything. Like Brazilian culture is fun. It's really interesting, and yeah, it's one of the countries that I would I'm planning on vis I'm planning to visit. Not right now, but in the future. Right? It's on my bucket list. Because I've always been a fan of Brazil. And what got me involved to notice Brazil was when I was a kid, Nigeria played Brazil. And we beat Brazil. I think it was Atlanta 98. Back in the day, Brazilian football was one of the most notorious football league or football team that you will face back in the day. And I'm talking about back in 1995, 97, 98. Like back then, Brazilian Football League, their team was so strong, right? When you're facing Brazil back in the day, you know it's going to be a tough match. If you beat Brazilian team, you will beat them out of the skin of your teeth, right? Brazil at the time was such a notorious dangerous team to face back in the day, right? Their team was so much better, so strong, so like, you know, and as time progressed, I would say that Brazilian team is no longer as strong as they used to be. I'm not sure what happened, but back in the day, man, Brazil was such like they have a school, a university just for football. Like, you know, and their culture is similar to my culture too. And I've been, a fan of Brazil for a very long time. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Abhishek 98 from India. What's up, man? How you doing? India, I'm in Canada. I live in Canada, Toronto, Canada, and we have a lot of Indians here. And due to the fact that I see them a lot and I hear their accents, and I've picked up a couple of languages, not languages, couple of words like are are, gare gare, acha, changa changa, nahi nahi. So that's from me being around Indians. Your culture as well is interesting. You guys have some improvements to do, but either way, welcome, man. From India, yeah. Who else is your first time watching me? Richmond, Virginia, the home of Mickey James. All right, Mate Rim. I can't even say your name, man. Everything is so squished up. Hey to you, man. Welcome to the live chat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still here waiting. At least I now know that I'm gonna have to, or we are going to have to wait till 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, it is 11:38, so that will be in like 6-7 minutes for the episode to come out. I cannot wait. And again, this is quite an interesting situation, and even though that I'm a little bit disappointed, but we're making the best out of the situation because I just couldn't come live and let it go like this without, we're just making the absolute best out of the situation. So there's nothing wrong with that. If this is your first time watching, let me know where you're watching from. And yeah, let me know where you're watching from. I wanted to ask you guys to rate this episode. I guess I will do that at the end of it. And I think based on the fact that this episode had a delay, like 1 hour delay, I don't think the rating is going to go well for this episode. But I'm still gonna ask it anyway at the end of this episode, you know? Now I'm going to ask another question. Right now in Canada it is 11:39. Um so the episode is 6 minutes away from now. Hopefully they are going to be on time. Or hopefully 11:45 means 11:45. Okay. Now another question that I have is One Punch Man better as a comedy or action anime? Is One Punch Man better as a comedy anime or action? And going back to the poll, 63% of you guys voted that garou is misunderstood, and 30% voted for villain. Depending on where you vote, you're not totally wrong. If you vote that garou is actually a villain, you're not totally wrong with that. If you voted for misunderstood, you're definitely not wrong, because I would lean into misunderstood. Garou is not a villain. He's an anti-hero who likes doing his own thing, doesn't like to be bothered, just want to be left alone. Or at the same time, I would say that he's looking to be the absolute best that he can be, and he does not want to subjugate himself to any association. He just wants to do his own thing. And most heroes are actually like that. They are loners. Most heroes will be involved in an association, and something happens and they fell off and they go do their own thing and conquer and whoop ass. You know what I mean? So most heroes are normally loners, and they do stuff with their own, and they believe in their own ideology, which kind of goes against their own side and again the enemy as well. They just have their own ideology and they run with their own ideology, and that's how they become a hero. So Mate said that I would say comedy. If it was to only focus on action, it would become solo leveling. Speaking of solo leveling, I'm hearing good things on solo leveling, by the way, and I will keep up my news on solo leveling, and I will be posting them in the community tab. So stay tuned on the channel and my community tab, because I will be updating you guys should anything pop up on solo leveling. I did criticize solo leveling at one point, simply because it is mainly focused on one character. Solo leveling thus far, if you really pay attention to it, from season 1 all the way to season 2, and the end episode, the 12th episode or the 13th episode of season 2, you realize that everything is focused only on one individual, one person, and that person is Sung Jiwoo, right? And due to that, it kind of rubs off a wrong way, but then again, that's what the anime is designed for. But at the same time, it does not negate the fact that it can still be criticized. All right. I criticized solo leveling. I did a video on it. If you go to my uploads, you'll probably find it. You know, I think it's overrated simply because the whole entirety of the show is focused only on Sung Ji-woo's development. The anime didn't try to develop any other character except Sung Ji-woo. And if solo leveling is going to be the next big thing, because solo leveling is trying to beat Dragon Ball, right? Because Goku is the most strongest, or one of the most strongest person, or one of the most strongest hero of our time as it stands. So solo leveling is gearing Sung Jiwoo to surpass Goku or surpass Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball entirety. The problem with that is it depends on who you ask. If you ask young generation, some of these kids that haven't really taken a deep dive into Dragon Ball genre, they will probably tell you solo leveling is better than Dragon Ball, or Sung Jiwoo is better than Goku and can beat Goku. The problem with that is, as an old generation like myself, I would say that's not true, because Dragon Ball storyline is bent on not just the development of Goku, also the development of side characters such as Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, future Trunks, current Trunks, Goten, Frieza. Like, Dragon Ball develops their side character so much better than, I mean, solo leveling cannot compare with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball entirety in terms of character development, because everything in Solo Leveling has been geared and focused to only Song Jiwoo and nobody else. On that fact, Solo Leveling is it's very good for what it is. It's fantastic for what it is. One person, one character focus, nobody else, can't have any rivals. Because on the second season, they tried to give Sung Ji-woo a rival, but that didn't go well because when Beru got resurrected or became super strong, he massacred everybody. So there's no um, rival. So Sung Ji-woo does not have any rival as it stands. So to be the best anime of all time, to beat Dragon Ball, you're going to bring way more than that. All right? I'm just saying, if Solo Leveling is going to beat Dragon Ball, you gotta have to bring way more than that. Solo Leveling being an anime that only focused on one person and nobody else cannot defeat Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball in its entirety in any way, shape, or form. Now, if they're going to bring the fact that Song Ji-woo at the end of season 3, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be stronger than Goku, then we have a debate, then we have a discussion. Because I bet you that Solo Leveling season 3 is going to be out before Dragon Ball Super season 2 comes out. That is a fact because there's nothing going on. We don't know when Dragon Ball Super season 2 is going to come out. There's um no concrete explanation on that just yet. It's currently 11:46 and One Punch Man season 3 is not out yet. I'm going to wait a little bit more. And so as I was saying, um Solo Leveling is going to bring way more in order to match Dragon Ball in um, character development, you know? And now, if they bring the fact that Sung Ji-woo is going to be stronger or will rival Goku in terms of strength and ability, that I can't really argue with that just yet. I'm going to be in the middle simply because Goku is still developing. Song Jiwoo, as in his current state on the manga, I've heard that he is super strong at this point. Okay, I'm hearing good things on Song Jiwoo. He has evolved so much so that he's almost becoming a cosmic being. But then again, me being a Dragon Ball fan also know that this is what Dragon Ball deal with every day. They deal with cosmic being for lunch every day. So I don't know, but I will hold my overall uh, take on if Sung Jiwoo is stronger than Goku because Goku is still developing and Vegeta is still developing. I'm sure Sung Jiwoo is still developing, and from what I'm hearing, Sung Jiwoo is going to have a child, and if he does have a child, will the focus be on the child or on Sung Ji-woo? That will be the next question, right? So let me check the website, see if this is out yet. No, not yet. Okay. Swag said I would say comedy, but keep in mind, guys, my knowledge is limited to season 1 of One Punch Man, so I don't know if One Punch Man transition to other genre and it have worked out for them. No, it's not out yet. I just checked. I'm waiting. I think it may be out by 12. I think it's going to be out around 12. This is bad, man. This is really bad. This is unprofessional. The whole One Punch Man, making its audience wait for more than 1 hour to produce the episode. Imagine if Dragon Ball does this. I mean, Dragon Ball, or let me say, Toei Animation, will never do this. What's going on? Did they forget to pay their bills, or what is going on? Anyway, let's keep going, guys. Let me put up another question. Now, let's do a comparison. The comparison is okay. Foxy Game said that Jinwoo kind of turns into death itself in its universe. That may be cool. That is cool and all, but to compare solo leveling to Dragon Ball, come on. It is. It doesn't. It doesn't even make sense. It's interesting how they haven't compared solo leveling to what other anime I would compare solo leveling to. You haven't compared solo leveling to Black Clover. You're gonna compare it to Dragon Ball, but I can understand because they want to go to the top most rated, or one of the top most rated anime that has a character that is super strong, out of the big three or the big four comparison, which means Dragon Ball characters are the strongest out of One Piece. I'm saying this just based on the fact that where I am on One Piece, I have seen enough villains to kind of gauge the future villains, right? So Dragon Ball characters are stronger than stronger than One Piece characters, Bleach characters, and Naruto characters. So I can understand why they skipped all these genres and went to Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball characters are way stronger than Bleach, One Piece, and even Naruto universe. So, um, but at the same time, there's no comparison between, like, you can't compare. Now, in terms of Sung Ji-woo's ability to Goku, maybe that you can, debate, but at the same time, if what you're saying that Sung Ji-woo became death itself in its universe, isn't Majin Buu death itself in Dragon Ball universe? Again, we keep missing the fact that Dragon Ball deal with this every day. Isn't Majin Buu death itself? Like a reincarnation of death itself, because everything Majin Buu does, if you compare Sung Jiwoo versus Majin Buu, will Sung Jiwoo have some type of a remedy to stop Majin Buu? Will Sung Jiwoo be able to generate enough ki, okay, enough ki blast to take out someone like Majin Buu? And that's if Majin Buu doesn't blow up the universe itself, or let me say the planet itself. How will Sung Jiwoo deal with someone like Majin Buu? How will Sung Jiwoo deal with someone like Omega Shinran? How will Sung Jiwoo be able to deal with someone like Beerus? You know? Because if you really look at it, Majin Buu, like, I'm not even comparing Beerus. Let's not bring Beerus into the picture. Let's talk about Majin Buu, because the resonance of Majin Buu itself is just catastrophic in its nature. Right? When you kill Majin Buu, he comes right back. Sung Jiwoo doesn't have a ki blast, so he can continue to kill Majin Buu, but Majin Buu will continue to evolve and most likely absorb every battle or every. I don't know how that fight is going to work out. Okay, if Sung Jiwoo became the concept of death itself, and you can compare that to Hades, in that sense, this is what Dragon Ball deal with every day. Again, when Dragon Ball universe deal with death every day, yo. You know, if you compare someone like Hades versus Majin Buu in a fight, and I'm talking about Hades from what's that show? That anime show, I forgot now. I forgot what it's called. Um Damn, I forgot. I'm talking about a version of Hades from that anime. Um I forgot what it's called. Damn it. Anyways, Majin Buu can continuously you. In order to defeat Majin Buu, you're gonna have to be able to generate enough ki blast. And remember how Majin Buu was defeated. In order to fight, if someone like Hades fights Majin Buu, it's not gonna work, because that's evil and evil fighting against each other. In order to fight Majin Buu, you're gonna have to use Spirit Bomb. Even Goku's Ki Blast and Kamehameha waves could not work against Majin Buu. He needed the Spirit Bomb. And the concept of the Spirit Bomb is the fact that you have to be a good-hearted person to generate such energy. And when you blast it, you have to be a righteous person, because it is meant for someone who is evil or who has evil intentions in their heart. I would say if Majin Buu and Sung Ji will fight, Majin Buu will continue to reject. It's going to be a battle of attrition. If Sung Ji will kills Majin Buu off, he's gonna regenerate. And if that continues to happen, hopefully Sung Jiwoo doesn't get absorbed, because if he gets absorbed, that's it. And again, the concept of Goku versus Sung Jiwoo in a battle, I don't think, because Sung Jiwoo, if we remember, when he killed off one of the individuals in the dungeon, he told him, if you continue to look into the abyss, if you look into the abyss long enough, the abyss will gaze right back at you. I think it's the I think if you continue to gaze into the abyss will gaze right back at you. That means where Sung Ji-woo is right now in the manga, he has evil inside him at this point. Because when you look at the abyss, there's nothing good that comes from the abyss. Now, I'm using wisdom to analyze Sung Ji-woo at this point. I'm using critical thinking and obvious analogy, right? Sung Ji-woo has evil or darkness inside him at this point. Because when you continue to gaze into the abyss, there's nothing good that comes with abyss. Abyss is darkness, is evil. So Sung Ji-woo has some evil inside him at this point, if you're reading the manga. And if that's the case, if Goku decides to generate the spirit bomb and hit Sung Ji-woo with the spirit bomb, is going to destroy Sung Ji-woo. If Sung Ji-woo gets hit with the spirit bomb, now I'm talking, there is other ways to subdue Sung Ji-woo. Dragon Ball deals with death, like death incarnate individual all day. They can use Mafuba to trap Sung Ji-woo, and we know Mafuba has worked. It worked against Zamasu temporarily, but that's because there wasn't enough energy to do it, right? Mafuba trapped someone like Zamasu, and not just Zamasu, fused. If I'm not mistaken, was it fused Zamasu or just Zamasu? I forgot now. Anyway, Mafuba can do it depending on who does it. And if Goku at his state can be able to generate spirit bomb faster than his previous state. So which means if Goku generates enough spirit bomb, which we know spirit bomb is a righteous energy that is meant for any individual that has darkness or evil intentions in their heart. Spirit bomb would definitely work on Sung Ji-woo easily. And you can say, well, Goku is going to have to get through hordes of Sung Ji-woo's armies. Goku doesn't have to go through them. Goku just has to use instant transmission to pinpoint where Sung Ji-woo is. Sung Ji-woo cannot hide from Goku in any way, shape, or form because Goku will pinpoint his energy and hit him with the spirit bomb, and it will definitely work because Sung Ji-woo has darkness inside him at this point. If you're reading the manga, I'm not reading the manga, but based on his development and how his development is going, being able to kill people and trap their soul and use their soul to fight against their will, by the way, to fight on your behalf. When you say arise, you trapped people's essence to fight on your behalf. That's evil if you really look at it. If you critically digest or dissect Sung Ji-woo's evolution so far, that's darkness itself. So spirit bomb would definitely work on him. I'm not sure if what is it called? If Hakai is going to work on him. I'm not sure about that, but again, it depends on who is doing the Hakai too. So, Bidder Azime, let's quickly check the website. Let me check again, man. What is going on, guys? I don't think One Punch Man is coming out today. I think I might end up renaming this video to something else. I think I might end up renaming it. OP Man underscore Glazer says Goku cannot access the Shadow Realm. Jinwoo can hide in the Shadow Realm, by the way. I'm not sure about Shadow Realm or not Shadow Realm. I don't know about that, but we know that Dragon Ball characters has battled each other in a way where they hit themselves with energy so dense and so pure, they are they were fighting in another realm, like out of reality. Example, when Goku, or let me say, um, a good example off my head right now would be Goku and Broly, or let me say, Gojira and Broly, when they hit each other with their energy and they warped reality, and they were fighting in another reality, in another realm, and they can track each other. Dragon Ball characters are very special characters. They are not like any other character. So if Song Jiwoo intends to hide in a, you said Shadow Realm, it won't be long before Goku figures him out. Unless if he's going to hide in there and continues to attack. But so long as he has ki, so long as he has energy, I don't think he will hide that much or that far from Goku. I don't know. I'm not expert in Rams or Dark Shadow or whatever, but Dragon Ball characters deal with cosmic beings every day. So I guess we'll see. Exactly. Yeah, it was, yeah. So it was a regular Zamatsu that got trapped. And the reason why he escaped was because Goku forgot the charm. Exactly. Exactly. Zamatsu would not have escaped out of that Zamatsu, out of that Mafuba situation. Um, Again, even if Song Jiwa hides in his shadows, Goku will break the ram and seek him out. I don't think he's going to hide in his shadow forever. Because again, people that watch solo leveling, they get this notion and this knowledge that as dark as solo leveling is, at the same time, they forget that in Dragon Ball universe, this is like everyday walk in the park situation. You know, when Goku uses instant transmission, what do you think he's doing? When Goku uses instant transmission to go from planet Earth all the way to another universe or to another, no, not another universe, to another planet, what do you think Goku is doing? Don't you think he's passing through, breaking through reality to go to do it? Like people like again, we have to really pay attention to drive. Like when you understand using instant transmission, you are going through reality out of reality. You're breaking through ramps to ins. It, instant transmission is such a high speed that as you move, you're breaking through RAM. So you mean to tell me that if Goku locks on Sung Jiwoo's shadow on Sung Jiwoo, that he's not gonna break through RAM to get to him? That's I don't think you. Instant transmission in its entirety is breaking through reality when you travel that fast. You're traveling through some type of cosmic reality to move that fast. Especially if Goku locks on Sung Jiwoo's ability or locks on him, ain't no way Goku will. Come on, man. Goku will definitely be able to get to Sung Jiwoo, even if he's hiding in Shadow Ram. Even if he's hiding in Shadow Ram. The only question is, will Goku be able to lock on him? That's the question. If Goku locks on Sung Jiwoo, he will definitely figure him out. You know? He will definitely figure him out. Like instant transmission is not just any super speed. People think, oh, just instant transmission is traveling from one place. No, it's more sophisticated than that. A good analogy is if you watch Dragon Ball Super, no, Dragon Ball the Legendary Super Saiyan. When Goku was traveling, using instant transmission to travel from planet Earth all the way to where Broly is because he locked on Broly's energy. And remember, when Goku was traveling to seek out Broly, when Broly finally shows his energy, right, on that planet, Goku said, "Oh, yes, this is the energy that I've been following." That means Goku, that means Broly turned up his energy and turned it off. So Goku was looking for Broly's energy, not really knowing exactly where Broly was, but he managed to still found Broly on that planet. Let me say it again. When Broly finally revealed himself, and I'm talking about the OG Broly, the Dragon Ball Z Broly, when he finally revealed himself, his real energy, Goku said, "Damn, this is the energy that I've been following. This is the energy that I've been seeking." That means when Goku was using instant transmission to seek out Broly's energy, he couldn't really find it. But due to the fact that Goku is a pro, he's a prodigy, he was able to find Broly on that planet, not knowing that that's the energy he was following. He was still able to pinpoint Broly, not knowing that Broly or the energy he was following is Broly's. You know what I mean? So instant transmission is not just super speed. It's more sophisticated than that. Unless Sung Jiwoo is going to hide his presence and Goku can't lock on it, which is impossible. As long as so long as he exists. Okay, so long as Sung Jiwoo exists, whether if it is Shadow Ram or any other Ram, Goku will definitely seek him out and know where he is. That's just my take on that. The fact that Goku is stupid doesn't necessarily mean that when it comes to fighting, he's not a prodigy. Goku may be stupid in terms of daily day activities and some decisions, but then again, when it comes to fighting, when it comes to battle, he is a prodigy. And this has been a fact since Dragon Ball, and I'm talking about the OG Dragon Ball. You know, I think that some of the new generation, some of these new kids now, when they watch Solo Leveling and see how Sung Ji evolves, and see because I can understand what's going on in the mind of some of these new generation or some people when they are watching Solo Leveling and they see how dark it is, and they watch Sung Ji Woo's development, how he's able to go to certain realms and defeat boss level, fight boss level, defeat the monster, evolves, all these things, able to fight characters that has telekinesis, able to fight characters um that has regeneration ability, able to fight characters like Beru, able to fight characters like the Lord of the Army or whatever, the F Chief or whatever. They intend to forget that as dark as it is, Dragon Ball is also as dark as Solo Leveling. Not to the extreme, because Solo Leveling is more extreme in terms of showing how dark it could be, how terrible it could be. Dragon Ball does the same, but in a different way, in a different pattern, you know? So, all right, let's check the damn. Guys, I think right now, I don't think this episode is coming. If you have access to Crunchyroll, Hulu, Disney Plus, check over there as well because I don't think the episode is out. And at the same time, to talk about the spirit bomb, the concept of the spirit bomb is once Goku hits it, it doesn't matter who he hits. It's destroying even hordes of Sung Jiwoo's army. And I don't think that they can be revived. I'm not sure because when you get hit with spirit bomb, there is a cosmic spiritual and it's a spiritual energy. Like it's a I know key blast as well. Those can be related as spiritual energy because it's a key, someone's essence. But at the same time, spirit bomb is a higher tier in terms of energy blast. It's very different. I would say that whatever is resurrected, whatever came out of Sung Jiwoo or his hordes of shadow armies, if they get hit with spirit bomb, I don't think that they're going to be brought back again. Or if Sung Jiwoo fights someone like Vegeta, if Vegeta uses Hakai, and because I know currently where Vegeta is right now in the manga, he has the ability of Hakai now, if I'm not mistaken. If Vegeta uses Hakai on the Shadow Soldiers, there's no way they're being revived back. It doesn't matter if you have to kill the person that spawned them out. Vegeta doesn't have to take out Sung Jiwoo to take out the hordes of Shadow Army, because whatever Hakai destroys does not get revived back. I just want you guys to think about that for a second. Whatever Hakai destroys does not get revived back. Like you completely die for real. You're gone out of existence. So if Vegeta, I'm not even gonna get to Beerus yet. Beerus is another discussion because we don't even know how strong Beerus is. But if someone like Vegeta uses Hakai on Shadow Soldiers, I don't care how many there are. If Vegeta channels his energy and shoots maybe a Gallic gun mixed with Hakai, all those hordes of Shadow Armies Sung Jiwoo spawned out will be destroyed forever. And unless Sung Jiwoo is going, and if that energy gets Sung Jiwoo is gonna die too. Because Hakai doesn't care if you're dead, if you're anything. You get annihilated for good. Zamatsu himself is a cosmic being. So anything that energy touches gets destroyed. It doesn't matter if you're hiding in shadows, it doesn't matter who you are, it destroys you. Because I don't think Sung Jiwoo has an answer of such energy, you know? So I just don't want people to get this ideology that somehow, some way, Sung Jiwoo is so strong that he could destroy anybody in Dragon Ball universe. That is not true. Especially if you look into the manga of Dragon Ball Super, which I'm not looking at, I don't read the manga, but based on the stuff I see on Facebook Reel, people posting Vegeta current level and Goku's current level, Gohan fighting Goku, which I cannot wait to have. I cannot wait to see when Gohan Beast takes on his father, Goku's Ultra Instincts. I'm looking forward to see that fight because there is this reel that I watched on Facebook that depicted that Gohan took on Goku once again, and Gohan actually beat Goku. That's interesting. That's hard, man. So all right, it seems like the episode is finally out. My goodness. Holy shit. It took this long to make this episode available. Now, guys, finally, the episode is out. So give me one moment and I will make it available. And for you guys that stayed up until now, thank you so much for staying here this long. Are you streaming video game? Yes, I will stream video game. Not right now, probably from next week. I decided to take a break. For the past couple of weeks now, I haven't streamed any video game because I wanted to take a break. So With that being said, let's get into finally One Punch Man season 3, episode 9. Give me 1 second. Uh, Alrighty, guys. Finally, welcome back on the ninth episode on One Punch Man season 3. Now, we've been waiting for 1 hour and 34 minutes. There was a delay. Perhaps it's not my fault. It's from the studio. It's unprofessional, but at the same time, I hope that they're gonna make it up to us with this episode, because if not, it's going to be a bad news bear it. Okay, we have waited for 1 hour and 34 minutes, which is unheard of, by the way, for an anime genre this big to make its audience wait this long. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into it. 1 second, I'm getting it from a different source, so hopefully they're not gonna kill this episode with too many dialogues. Wait, it can come back to life? The kid wasn't lying. He's back. He evolved. Threat level. That is a huge ass gun. Hmm. Interesting. Wait, this kid is going to face him head on? This kid is brave child. He's gearing up to fire. If it wasn't for that shield that he was holding, that blast could have teared him apart. You're not even a top ranker. The kid, Child Emperor, is not fighting because he lost. He's fighting because of the fact that he wasn't prepared enough. He's disappointed at his own ability thus far. Oh, here he comes again. Wait a minute. What is he cooking up now? Ooh. Hui. Oh, some type of transformer looking. He's right. 2 minutes left. He's locked on him. Phoenix is trying to tear apart that armor or the battle suit. I didn't think that this kid is packing this type of wallet in his arsenal. Woo-hoo-wee! That battlesuit doesn't have much time left. He needs to finish this fight as soon as possible. As this fight goes on, you can see Phoenix battle experience is starting to show up. But then again, this kid, Child Emperor, is very smart. Sweet! Time is slowly running out. Hmm. Phoenix grows stronger every second. So he's gonna have to hit him with a power that he can be able to regenerate from. Flash is here. Phoenix is a formidable opponent so far. Oh damn, you took off his arm. He's so fast now that he couldn't detect him. He's way tenacious. Okay. What else does he have in stock? Less than 1 minute left. He's evolving again. What are those? He's able to spawn some type of zombie looking knights. Shadow knights, if I will call it that. Yo. Sweet. 'He's taking the child with him. He thinks Giro Giro no the Monster Association can no longer stop him, huh? He is that confident in himself now. Mm. 10 seconds left. Yo. Why do I think I'm watching Gundam right now? I feel like I'm watching one of those Gundam or um those shows. Ooh. Ooh. Saitama got to have felt that. Saitama got to have felt that. Yo, he's still alive. He's still alive after all of that. It wants him to get out of that battle suit. Oh, he has something up his sleeve. Yo, he literally, with couple of swings, tear this kid out of that battle suit. What's going on? Oh, it was a trick. Now he can actually hurt him. Wait, those two survived? What the hell? Those two survived? Out of all the people they're going to run into, they run into Saitama himself. This child emperor has taken out about five Monster Association personnel right now. I think this is the fifth person he took out. Really? He lied. This season has been messing up. Okay, I did give them props on the fifth episode, how they did the fifth episode, and the fact that they have kept Saitama out of the battlefield up until now. I will give them props for that, because should you include Saitama on the battlefield will be over. Thus not giving the other characters time to shine and to show what they can be able to do, thus developing other characters other than Saitama. I give them props for that. But on the other hand, the pace and the way the episode has been going thus far, I would say that it has not lived up to the expectation that we all expected it to be. Based on the fact that we're only getting 12 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. This is not 25 episode season. It is 12 episodes. With 12 episodes, you do not have that chance, that room to give us the type of episode you give us on the 6th episode. The 6th episode was just simply put trash. It was a trash episode. Okay. Now, it doesn't look like we're going to get back to the fight between Garou and Orochi this season, simply because the other S-rank heroes still need to be developed, because they have infiltrated the hideout. They are not on the main hideout, but they have now entered the secret pathway to get to the Monster Association sanctuary. So the S-rank heroes are probably going to continue to fight throughout this season. That's what I think it's going to happen. As you can see, Child Emperor has been kicking ass ever since the 8th episode. No, not the 8th. Was it? Yeah, ever since the 7th episode. He's been kicking ass. Right? So, I think, and kudos to Child Emperor. I mean, this kid has taken out how many Monster Association opponents now? He has taken out, I believe, 5 opponents right now. And the most strongest of them is Phoenix. And Phoenix gave him a run for his money. I did enjoy the battle, to be honest. The problem is just that the whole overall expectation of One Punch Man Season 3 has not really been doing so well so far. You know, the whole expectation, making the audience wait for 1 hour and 35 minutes, knowing the fact that this is not the first season of One Punch Man. If it is the first season, I can understand, but this is its 3rd season. That means any mistake that they have been made in the past must be corrected at this point. But making the audience wait, although to their defense, they did let everybody know a little bit. I was the one who didn't really do my diligent research, because the other website that I saw, it was supposed to come out 10:15, but on the online or in Google website that I did, it said that there's going to be a delay. There's going to be 45. It's going to come out 11:45. Even on that 11:45, it didn't come out till like 12:15. So there's been a lot of mishaps and a lot of disappointment this season. Okay, so at the end of the day, to each its own. Okay, to each its own. Overall, I'll let you guys decide what you guys think about this. Let me go to the chat real quick to hear from you guys. What's your take on this episode? Do you like it? I see people giving it 5 out of 10. Okay, some people are giving it 5 out of 10. Some are giving it 8 out of 10. The episode wasn't bad. The episode was not bad at all. Okay, I did enjoy it because, you know, one of the reasons why I enjoy it is the fact that Child Emperor, I did not expect much from this kid, to be honest, truthfully. I did not expect much from this child. But based on the fact that not only has he previously taken out 4 Monster Association individuals, he has taken out one of the strongest. I know that Phoenix is one of the strongest Monster Association opponent, but I didn't think that he evolves like this. So right now we get to know how much Phoenix can really go, and kudos to Phoenix for giving Child Emperor a run for his money. And Child Emperor, I did not expect him to last this long, to be such a formidable opponent that even with Phoenix evolution and continues to evolve each time he reaches his limit, Child Emperor still managed to stop him, right? So kudos to Child Emperor. And Child Emperor is one of the S-class heroes. So he's not strong by himself, but with his gadgets, he is a formidable opponent, as we have seen. So I give this episode a good, I give it a good 6 out of 10. It would have been a 6.5, but due to the fact that this delay happened and the whole stigma of this season, it hasn't been on this season's favor so far. So I give it a good 6 out of 10. It would have been 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10, because there's nothing wrong with this episode. This is how it should be, except that this current episode should have been the 8th episode. Sorry, this 9th. Wait a minute. What episode is this? This 9th episode should have been the 8th episode. And the 8th episode should have been the 7th episode. And the 7th episode should have been the 6th episode. So they messed up on the 6th episode. And that's one of the reasons why this whole stigma intensified. From the first episode of this season, the stigma already started. The animation wasn't that good. But at the same time, fans was able to forgive that. And they improved their animation. But then again, the episode stacked around up until the 5th episode. The 5th episode was where they truly gave us a solid 10 out of 10 episode. And after that 5th episode, the 6th episode kind of killed the vibe. The vibe picked up on the 5th episode and they killed it with the 6th episode. The 7th episode didn't amount to anything. The 7th episode kind of amounted to something. The 6th episode didn't amount to anything. It was just a waste of time. And that stigma continued. And the fact that this delay happened also edified the stigma on One Punch Man Season 3. The beginning of this live stream, I did ask a couple of questions. If you haven't seen it, if you were not around, you can go check it out. One of the questions was, do you guys think that One Punch Man should go to another studio? Maybe MAPPA, maybe TV Tokyo, right? Tet Kubo, maybe to do it, or Toei Animation, or any other high-end animation out there, that can take this on. A couple of you guys suggested that the fans should do their own anime, but I don't think that's a good idea because it won't be legitimate. It won't be that legitimate. The legitimacy of One Punch Man is going to derail if fans decide to do it. And it's going to be sporadic because every other fan that knows how to use AI, that knows how to do a couple of animations here and there, will do their own. It's going to be very sporadic. You don't know which one is the legitimate one because there are so many other fans doing their own version of One Punch Man. So it's good to keep it to the professionals to, do it and do it properly. So be that as it may, the episode was a good 6 for me. It would have been a good 6.5 or a 7 if it wasn't for the delay, if it wasn't for the 6th episode of this season, if it wasn't the fact that it was just trash. So I don't think that's a good question, Swag. Thanks for that question. Do I want Dragon Ball to return as a movie or as episodes or anime episodes? For the likes of me, I would enjoy episodes simply because when Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball in its entirety puts out a movie, it's for a reason. I kind of don't want them to do what Demon Slayer is doing because Demon Slayer is almost at its wit end. So this is where I would say, if you know what works for you, do it. Don't do it because another person is doing it because you don't know the reason that other person is doing it. You don't know the trials and the tribulation that they're facing. You don't know their future. So I don't want Dragon Ball Super to do the same thing Demon Slayer is doing, because Demon Slayer is now on its final arc. So when it's done, that's it. Dragon Ball should focus on the anime part of things, episode after episode. The problem is, it's taking them so long to do it. At the same time, when you do anime episode 1 until up until 25 or whatever, that way when you put out a movie, the movie is there for a reason. It is there to tell a story that you couldn't tell in the anime. It is good to tell a story to give some type of a premise of a story that you will tell on the next upcoming season, which is the reason why Dragon Ball has done so well with movies, because each movie tells a story either to edify and diversify a story that wasn't really told before, such as Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. The reason why, and again, you can talk about the Battle of Gods. The Battle of Gods, the reason why it was done is to see the new threat on the block. He gave rise and he gave purpose to the season after the movie. The Battle of Gods, we got to know Beerus, Frieza situation, the revival of F. It helped us to gear up for the anime itself. So I don't want Dragon Ball to do the same thing Demon Slayer is doing, because Demon Slayer, it's now on its final wit. Dragon Ball still has a long way to go. If they focus it on movies, it won't be a bad thing, but at the same time, it's going to derail that nostalgia on anime episode after episode. Because I remember when Dragon Ball Super came out, it broke the internet. Yo, when Dragon Ball Super came out, it broke the internet. It was way more famous than One Piece. I don't know. I don't care what you tell me. Okay? That nostalgia. And then remember, before the season came out, we had Broly, right? Broly movie came out. And then when the season came out or came back, it broke the internet. Every episode was rated, I believe, way more than One Piece. You can quote me wrong, but every Dragon Ball, just because of the nostalgia of it, even if that episode even if there wasn't any fight going on or there wasn't any serious situation, every Dragon Ball episode, I'm talking about Dragon Ball Super when it came back or when it continued, every episode was beaten, if I'm not mistaken, One Piece episode. And I'm using One Piece because One Piece is one of the greatest anime that is ongoing even till now. So I don't want Dragon Ball to follow on Demon Slayer's footstep, because Demon Slayer, it's now on its final stages. Dragon Ball still has a long way to go. If they do a movie, it's going to negate that nostalgia of, okay, I cannot wait for next week. Next week, the fans are talking about it, or before the episode comes out, the fans are talking about it, the communities are talking about it, the internet is discussing how is the next episode going to be. Everybody is pumped up for it. It kind of brings me back in the day. When you watch an episode now and the whole week, right, you're talking about it, everybody's talking about it, everybody's anticipating how the next episode is going to be. I think that nostalgia it should continue, and especially if Dragon Ball still wants to remain as one of the big three or the big four, he'd rather stick to anime. Put out movies when it's necessary to put out movies, but continue it in the anime sector of things if it wants to remain in the big four or the big three, because all the big three and the big four, they did it episode by episode. They put out movies, but they also did episode and episode. So no, I disagree. Dragon Ball should stick to anime purpose and put out movies if it's necessary. One of the movies that I think it's time for us to get to know, or one of the movies that I think it's necessary at this point, is if they would tell a story on Beerus, how he came to be. And of course, if you're telling a story on Beerus, Champa is not too far from that. So it will tell, it will be a movie that will tell a story on Beerus and as well his brother. So you can use one stone to take out two birds. If they do a movie on Beerus. Another movie that I would like Dragon Ball Super to do is movie on Jiren. That won't be a bad idea because again, it will also tell a little bit of story on the god of destruction of, I believe, is it the 8th universe? Was Jiren from the 8th universe? I don't know, I forgot. The universe where Jiren is from. So you're kind of using one stone to take out other birds. Story on Jiren, a story on one of the god of destructions, or even better, since that we now know that towards the ending of Dragon Ball Super, the Tournament of Power, they use the Super Dragon Ball to restore the other universes. They can tell a story on what happened, why. We know why, okay? We know why Zeno destroyed the other universes. They can tell a story on what those universes did, like what actually happened. That movie, even if it is 3 hours long, it will be worth it. Even if it is 4 hours long, it will be worth it because with that, you can tell a whole lot of stories on the priests or the angels, Zeno, how he even came to be, the gods of destruction, how Zeno created this whole god of destruction, and what was going on in the cosmic or in the cosmos, what led to those other universes going against Zeno's rules and regulation, right? There will even be something for saints there, right? Because the Super Saiyan God Yamoshi that disappeared and nobody knows where he is, that story can also relate to Yamoshi. Was he involved in any way, shape, or form on what caused the other universes to get eradicated by Zeno? A lot of story. If they end up doing this, I would say they should make it at least 4 hours. If they make it 4 hours long, the audience will totally understand why they have to do it because so many stories will be told, right? The upcoming on, the other universes, what went on, what actually happened, why did they disobey Zeno, knowing fully well that Zeno will eradicate their universe, So that would tell a whole pack of story. Another story they can tell as well is on Universe 6 Super Saiyans. What happened? How did they evolve to the point where they no longer have their tails? Because they used to have a tail, but based on what we know, they evolved so much so that they no longer, the current mothers no longer spawn Saiyans that has tails. They no longer have their tail. How did their tail disappear? What happened? Is it tied to the other universes that got their planet blown up or the universe blown up by Zeno? What happened to the Saiyans from Universe 6? Or Frost? Because if you're going to tell a story on the Saiyans of Universe 6, Frost and his family, right? His generation won't be too far. Because remember, in Universe 6, the Saiyans are still working with Frost. It's almost like the Saiyans are working with Frieza's empire or Frieza family. And we know that's a long lineage of Frost's family, just like a long line of Frieza's ancestors. What happened with Super Saiyan from Universe 6 and how are they still working for Frost? And that will even tell a story on Frost's ancestors, how they became. I guess you won't be too far from Universe 7's Frieza's ancestors and what they were doing. But the thing here is the Saiyans from Universe 6 believes that Frost is a good guy, not knowing that Frost is a bad, terrible emperor. So how come they are so naive up until now? While the Saiyans of Universe 6 already on this, the Saiyans from Universe 7 already knows that Frieza is a bastard. Frieza, King Code, Frieza Ancestor, they were terrible people. But in Universe 6, the Saiyans are still working in good cahoot and in good correlation with Frost, right? I don't know how that happened, or how they haven't figured out that Frost is actually a terrible emperor. He kills people behind closed door. He does one of the most terrible, dirty stuff of all time. And the Saints from Universe 6 haven't figured it out. I don't know. I think there is something there. Does their king knows what Frost is doing but decides to keep it hush-hush? Or something? I think there's something there. Another movie that I would like them to do is, I think it would be good for it to be on. Here's this one. This one is one of the most questions every Dragon Ball fan knows deep down that this question has to be answered in one way, shape, or form. The Saiyans that was, because when Frieza, or before Frieza blew up planet Vegeta, he gathered the Saiyans around the globe together. And we know not all Saiyans made that call. Frieza requested the Saiyans to come back home, that he has a surprise for them. He has a meeting, which brought all the Saiyans into one planet, to their planet. We know not all Saiyans made it. So those Saiyans that are still out there, Vegeta's brother is still alive, by the way. And Vegeta's brother could have made the call, but he didn't. Why didn't he? Why didn't Vegeta's brother made it to planet Vegeta the time? You know what I'm trying to say. Not every Saiyan made it. Just like Broly's space pod broke and he couldn't get out of Vampa planet. He could not escape from that planet. He couldn't get out, so he stayed there. The same thing could have happened to other Saiyans that they sent away, made it to that particular planet, and they couldn't go back. Even if their ship was working, they know deep down that Frieza is a bastard. Not every Saiyan trusted Frieza, by the way, and they know for Frieza to make such a call to bring the whole Saiyan in, to bring them back home, for them to be gathered in one planet. I know, rest assured, not every Saiyan believe that they're going to escape this alive. I'm sure some Saiyans knew that there's something wrong with this. There's something wrong with this request. Frieza is planning something and it's not a good idea. So they refuse to answer Frieza's call to come back home. Right? It's obvious. Because the Saiyans knew for a long time that Frieza is a bastard and he's going to kill them one day because of this Super Saiyan myth. They know that Frieza doesn't like them. They know that they're growing stronger, and Frieza knows that they're going to grow so strong at some point and they can overthrow him. So they know that Frieza calling them to come back home, there's something in it, that they don't trust Frieza. That could be a story that they could explore, or they could do a movie on, and that movie can actually tie to Vegeta's brother. I don't think that Vegeta's brother is necessary for that movie because he's not really that strong, right? But it can be explored on other universes, other planets that still harbors a lot of Saiyans, right? So, yes, of course. It would be good for certain arcs to be adapted into a movie. That's good. That is also another area that they can explore, because Dragon Ball is very good at doing this. Whenever there's a movie, that movie is telling a story that it's setting up a stage of a story that is going to be animated when the anime comes back, right? Just like, you know, the revival of F, um, I think Battle of Gods too, right? So yeah, yeah. Jiren is from Universe 11. Yeah, they can tell a story on Universe 11, how Jiren came to be. You know, a little bits and pieces of that story was told when he was explaining to Goku how he became who he is. But a movie on him will be more depth, you know, and it will also tell a story on Topo as well, how Topo was chosen to be the next in line to be the next god of destruction. Anyways, this live stream has lasted as long as it could, guys. So I'm going to end the live stream. Please pay attention to the community tab. Just like you have heard, Swag stated that he has surprises coming up, and I myself, I will be updating you guys on the latest stuff that is going on either Black Clover, because we don't know when Black Clover is actually coming back. We know it's next year, but we don't know what date. Solo leveling on Sung Jiwo. If I have anything, I will post it in the community tab. And subscribe if you have not. Turn on the bell notification. Join the channel membership, guys. I cannot say this enough. There are a lot of stuff going on in the channel membership. I do have my trucking lifestyle, or my life as a truck driver. I do post video there. Join as well so that you will check out my other content that I have aside from anime content. So, a movie on Kale. That should be interesting. I think if they're going to do a movie on Universe 6, Saints, I think doing a movie on, I think Kale will be part of it too. If they're going to do a movie on Universe 6, it will explain, about the Saints. See, that's what I talked about earlier. If they do a movie on Universe 6, their king, right? How they went in cahoot with Frost and Frost ancestors. And it will also explain a lot of things about Kale, and the other Saints over there. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun. The live stream started off very weird because there wasn't any update on One Punch Man Season 3 Episode 9, but overall, it's been a nice live stream. So take care of yourself, guys. Protect yourself. Drive safe. Pray, because we are currently at the end of the year. Many weird things happens. Many weird situations occurs during the end of the year. So protect yourself, guys. Pray before you go out, before you step out. Drive safe. And really pay attention to where you are. Pay attention to your surroundings. And yeah, man, stay safe out there. On that note, see you in the next video.